All right, look, you want to be accumulating and buying the altcoins I'm gonna show you in this video, but you have to understand context because you want to know when to actually buy them, when to exit, but also under which circumstance you want to accumulate again. And that's what we're gonna be talking about in this video. I'm gonna give you the altcoins I am looking at, the altcoins I am buying, whether we have a continuation in this market or whether we have a bear market, does not matter. These are the ones that are actually worth accumulating, and I'll be giving you the narrative, the main narratives for the next bull market, just like I did for this bull market where I told you AI is going to fly and not gaming. I'm gonna give you for the next bull market so you are ready and not caught with your pants down so you can actually make some profit. So before we begin, you need context. You have to understand what Bitcoin is doing and how this can affect altcoins, because depending on what Bitcoin does over here changes when you will be buying these altcoins, because we might even be buying them right now, or at least certain ones. Now, I am a bit stuffy, excuse my nose. I'll do my best to talk clear and articulate properly, okay? Okay, so this is Bitcoin right now on the factor line, and as you can see, we broke below the range over here, but we're getting a potential bottom pattern. And if you remember, I told you as soon as we came back up and tested this mid-range and failed, I told you to get out of Bitcoin. I told you we're gonna go to 80, even the low 70s, kissing the line in the sand at 74K, and it was crucial to see what Bitcoin did, and so and behold, that's what we did. And this line in the sand is extremely important here because this is where Bitcoin will lose structure, so we have to hold it. So this is the line in the sand. Anything above 74K was a higher low, but now it kissed it, and if we don't get a double bottom over here and confirm that, it's not going to be good. We will indeed be in bear market territory, and the probabilities of a bear market are going to be, well, basically we're probably gonna be in a bear market. Now, we also want to extend the previous bottom range over here so you can understand the range of support a little bit better over here and see exactly how it respected this. And this is where it gets interesting, or this is the part that's actually crucial, because depending on what we do from here, you want to either be buying altcoins or waiting and buying them on the way down. So let me show you what that looks like. So if Bitcoin rejects the bottom of this range and comes back down, chances are it will break the support, make it resistance, and if it does make it resistance, guess what? You are in a bear market, and a bear market is not so much the price dropping that's the issue, it's the prolonged time it stays under the resistance range over here, and that can be devastating. So if that happens, understand that we're gonna be in a bear market, we're gonna stay down at those levels for a while, and this just falls in line with what we've been saying all along. End of 2025, beginning 2026, we're gonna be in a bear market, and we're gonna go by the 4-year cycle until proven otherwise, and so far, so good, okay? Now, if Bitcoin, however, comes up and breaks this resistance range over here, and we get back into this range over here, then altcoins are more than likely gonna fly. They're more than likely gonna fly, and chances are we'll have a pretty strong relief rally, maybe coming back up to the mid-range over here. And then of course, if that breaks, we can come up and meet what I've been calling for this market, the right shoulder of this potential massive heads and shoulders, okay? Let's just change that color so we don't get confused. And then of course, if that breaks, then we are looking at a nice potential double top pattern, but let's cross that bridge when we come to it. Now, Either you're going with a continuation and you're gonna get these altcoins I'm gonna show you right now, or you're gonna go with the drop and get them at lower prices. And yes, you can DCA, yes, you can DSA, that's dollar swing average. That is a term I've coined, and you can use the factor line for that, okay? But let's have a look at what coins are strong, what coins are powerful, because I talked about them on Twitter, on X, I talked about them in my group, and we're just seeing these actually print whenever Bitcoin is in a place of authority. Altcoins are waiting permission from Bitcoin, and these are the strongest ones, and I'm also gonna show you the narratives for the next bull market, so you're ready, so you know what to accumulate as we're coming out of the bear market. I hope this makes sense. If you do not understand, please comment down below and ask your questions. I will answer all of them, because these are important times and you want to make sure you understand this and make sure you do not confuse or misunderstand what I'm saying here, okay? So if we go to crypto bubbles over here, you'll see that hype is very powerful, CC is very powerful. You can actually see that on the weekly as well. And on the weekly, these both stand out more. But there are other coins because of narratives that can also do very well. One being Aster, and yes, I know it's red over here, but it's the competing perpetual DEX coin to hype by Binance. And this, if we get a narrative of perpetual DEXes, this will fly. And look, we called this at 40 cents. So we did very well. We took profits on the way up. It's now back down at about what, 59 cents. But look, it's waiting for permission here. Then you have privacy, and I know Zcash is down 24% over here, or 25% on the weekly, and it's at $285, but we called this at $140. So we rode it up, we called the top, took profits on the way up and on the way down, and it's now sitting nicely, waiting for privacy, waiting for the privacy narrative, which if takes off will do very well. And you've actually seen this. You've seen privacy coins shoot up whenever they had a little bit of permission, so to speak, from Bitcoin. You saw XMR, you saw Zcash, and I do believe this is going to be another narrative as well. So let's get into this coin by coin so you're not confused. I'm not gonna give you the big massive coin list here or even a portfolio. I'll do that in another video. In another video, I'll give you my portfolio I will construct in the bear market as for the information we have up to now, and then we can basically see how we can change it according to the times when the time comes. So subscribe down below and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss that video. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments down below. I want to help you here. So Hyperliquid, this is Hyperliquid right now at $36. I actually added to this position over here when I told you to make a trade. I added to Hype, I talked about it in my group, and I also added to Canton, but we'll talk about that in just 1 second. But Hype is doing very well, and perpetual DEXes can do well regardless. Hype has the fundamentals and the technicals to do very well. I would even call it a quote-unquote safe coin with massive potential, both if there's a continuation in this market and if we go into a bear market. As a matter of fact, if I'm left holding Hype, I don't care, because I believe it's going to do extremely well. I'm just going to add to it when we go down. So Hype is one of the plays here, and you can see it on the monthly chart. This is just extremely, extremely powerful. It looks like it bottomed out here. Of course, if Bitcoin dumps, this may dump, but it wants to go up. It wants to climb. It gave us a warning for the top over here with a shooting star candle. You should have gone out on this candle, but regardless, we're gonna come back up in my opinion here. And we were one of the first channels to talk about Hyperliquid and actually get into Hyperliquid. That said, we're also one of the first to get into Aster at 40 cents, currently sitting at 58 cents, but we did climb all the way up here, and yes, we did have this drop, and we took profits on the way down, not aggressively, because I'm comfortable holding this. And no, I was not sponsored by Aster. No, I did not get no free allocation. I simply called it as I saw it, saw the breakout, got in on the breakout, and it went all the way up to $2. So you're welcome if you actually watch my videos. I disclose all sponsorships, all allocations on this channel. So if I'm not disclosing it, it means I'm not sponsored. And I have been sponsored by coins in the past and disclosed every single one of them. I'm just making sure you understand this, because sometimes there's stupid people in the comments, oh my God, he's a paid shill. I do not shill. I do not shill. I have the integrity, and this channel is built on honestly no fluff and no BS. So as you can see over here, Aster waiting to come up, keeping its price of 50 cents, which is great because we called it almost at the breakout here, so it can go lower and still be a valid play over here. Of course, on the weekly, it looks like complete crap, but that's because there's no price history before that when we got in at 44 cents down here. So it came up, had a massive rally, came down, held support, if that makes sense. By the way, if you want to get into Aster and hype, it's not just about getting into it, it's also about using them. You can actually trade silver, gold, completely decentralized, completely anonymously using these platforms. I'm going to leave both links in the description down below because yes, they are worth it, okay? Next up is Zcash, and we talked about Zcash, and we were saying that in every single bull market, towards the end, you see these spikes on Zcash, and I told you that it's gonna happen this time as well, but actually exceed them. And it did exceed the prior one and did extremely well. And I was telling you, this is where the levels you're gonna be taking profits around $700 or $600 to $700 based on this over here. And if we break out from 392, that's the level to look at, and that's what happened. And now Zcash is coming back down, and chances are it will stay down or go sideways in the bear market. But once we start getting out of the bear market, Zcash could do very well. That said, probably not gonna be the best performing coin when it comes to price, but it's a great way to see and time when to get into altcoins, not just looking at Bitcoin, not just looking at Solana being one of them you should be accumulating if it goes down, by the way. Not right now maybe, but if it goes down or if we go into bear market territory, Solana is another one to look at. But Zcash is one I am holding because if anything goes wrong, if they start cracking down whatever, Zcash is just nice to have some on the side along with Monero just for the privacy aspect of things, okay? So it might not make massive profits, but it's a safety, and a lot of times it actually works in contradiction to Bitcoin as well. So just keep that in mind. But Canton, this is massive. This is massive, and this is doing extremely well. This is the 24-hour. If you look at the weekly, also just blue sky breakout and price discovery. If you go to the monthly, same thing over here. Canton is massive, and this is something I would accumulate even now for a possible continuation because it's worth the risk in my opinion. As a matter of fact, if you come to my X profile over here, and I suggest you follow me, MC Paul D, it's got the check mark, don't go to those scammers, but if you scroll down over here, look, I was telling you to buy Bitcoin now. This is at 80,000, sorry, this is at about $76,000, $77,000. And if it goes under 74,000 to put your stop loss in and then reevaluate if it holds, and that's what it did. We're now currently towards 80,000 waiting for it to break. But look, CC as a low cap continuation trade with caution over here. And if you actually go into my group, I was talking about getting into CC, I was talking about getting into hype and so on. And these are the altcoin plays if we have a continuation, but also if we go into a bear market, they're worth holding or accumulating, so to speak, over the bear market. So keep that in mind. Now here's a bear market play. What do I mean by a bear market play? If we get a continuation, you can get this, but a bear market play is Bittensor. Why? Look, the next narrative, the next cycle, I believe it's gonna be perpetual DEXes. At some point privacy, but most of what's gonna be perpetual DEXes. I think they're gonna fly, but also I believe AI is gonna make a massive comeback with, understand this, are you ready for it? with gaming. Why? Because AI, yes, it had its hype cycle, and we talked about this in the previous cycle, that this cycle will be hyped by AI, and we're gonna be seeing projects that are really not AI, but they're gonna fly. Well, in the next cycle, AI is gonna make a comeback, but it's gonna be trend stacked with gaming, because now you can make games with AI, and guess what crypto projects are gonna do? Easy route, they're gonna use this narrative, and gaming along with AI will probably blast off, even though it might not be as rosy as everything seems. They're gonna use that hype cycle, and that's for the next cycle. So Bittensor is one to hold, one to buy while you're in a bear market and coming out of the bear market, and this thesis I just gave you is confirmed. Remember, the best time to buy is not in a bear market, it's as you're coming out of a bear market, so you can see narrative, see trends, and not lock up opportunity cost over here in coins that won't move. But Bittensor is a blue chip when it comes to AI, actually has a product in AI, so this is one you can actually hold, and the price action, even though it might go down over here, proves this, because it's actually holding its support over here. And yes, it might come down to this level at $92 at some point in the bear market, and that will be a massive buying potential. Talking about AI and gaming, a great trend-stacked coin, which a lot of people don't understand, is Beam. Beam is AI and gaming, but understand that I have allocation in Beam, not because they gave it to me, but we actually set up 2 nodes with Frederick, and we have over 1,000 people dedicated to our nodes, because I have a cold, but dedicated to our nodes, and we actually get rewards in Aether and Beam. Even though they're low right now, we're gonna be accumulating through the bear market for the next bull market. So even though we are in a loss, yes, we are in a loss, we are actually excited, well, I don't know about Frederick, I am, that we're gonna actually do very well in the next bull market. So, let me summarize. Watch Bitcoin, see if we break down. If we break down, now you know which coins to buy. Perpetual DEXes, privacy may be also a narrative there, plus the specific coins I gave you, Canton, Hype, Aster, and so on. And for the next bull market, look into AI and gaming, along with, again, perpetual DEXes I just gave you. Of course, Solana, SWI, anything like that you can get your hands on is a must, in my opinion, as you're coming out of a bear market, but we'll save that for the next video or another video, and we'll make a portfolio, a bear market portfolio soon, so make sure you subscribe down below and hit that bell notification button. Now, a lot of times when I make videos or I do live streams, a lot of people ask me, is my coin dead? Is that coin dead? Is this cryptocurrency dead? And so on. So what I did, I actually developed a tool, and it's completely free. I'm just gonna show it to you very quickly before I end this video. Please stick around. I think you want to hear this. I think this is gonna be a lot of value for you. But I created ismycoindead.com, and here you can actually check your coin with fundamentals and on-chain analytics to see if it's dead or alive. As a matter of fact, this is part of AI Crypto Suite, and you can find AI Crypto Suite at aicryptosuite.com. But these are AI crypto tools I have developed to help you and myself on your journey. So as you can see, there's Folioli over here. There is Crypto TA Reality Check, Coin Scan. The factor line is the only paid product on this page. But up here, you will see, is my coin dead? And you can go there by either clicking on Open Is My Coin Dead over here, or going directly to ismycoindead.com. So check out ismycoindead.com. Check out aicryptosuite.com. I'll leave the links in the description down below, and make sure you watch this video right here next. You don't want to miss this video. AI and crypto will make a combination. AI crypto tools are gonna dominate. Watch this video over here. You don't want to miss this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.